Morning, mate. How does that feel?
Yeah, good. Well, we probably felt internally our form line's been pretty good, the last couple of weeks. So to learn from 2 weeks ago against GWS and find ourselves in the same position, the frustrating thing I think for our group was we just didn't put the scoreboard pressure on in the start of that last. But I thought they absorbed a lot of pressure, held our nerve really well in probably that last 3 or 4 minutes, which we probably didn't do as well a couple of weeks ago. So great learning and terrific resilience from the group overall.
So you sort of answered the next question. When you were trying to close out against the Giants,
Yep.
and it sort of went awry, did you actually implemented things after that you implemented today?
We had things in place, we just executed them better today. So, at times you just need to take a little bit of speed out of the ball, be a little bit more calm, a little bit more composed with the ball as to what you're looking. Just try to wind the clock down a little bit. But I think fundamentally you still need to try and score. If you try and shut the game down too early, we've all seen where games, it's hard to hang on to a lead over a 5 or 6 minute period. So you still need to have the sentiment that we're looking to score.
How were the nerves there at the end? Because they had a fair few sort of shots and they were inside 50 a fair bit.
Yeah, no, I think our fans are sensing. I've got a lot of faith in our guys that are playing the game in the way that we want them to play. They're growing before our eyes, and I think as a group and as a club, I'd like to dedicate this win to our members. Our members have been unbelievably supportive and encouraging of where we're going. We might have some exciting news to announce next week as far as our membership goes. But yeah, I've got great confidence in the way that our guys are learning and what they need to do in order to become a really good footy team.
Just taking away the scoreline, I guess, in terms of the actual performance, how does that sort of fit in with the past sort of few weeks and that sort of, the learning as you mentioned just now?
Yeah, it's really positive, isn't it? The contested ball, I think, in the early part of the year, I don't think it was so much around the contest, but it was more around the structure of how we've probably set ourselves up in the last couple of weeks. Our ability to get from contest to contest is a lot better. So understanding how we need to play, not just at one particular contest, so that's been really good. Inside 50 numbers have held really firm through the most part of the year. So again, the number of shots that we had today, I think we had 12 or 13 guys having shots on goal. Then I think if you just look at our possession count, it was pretty even, across the board. So that's what you need. You need a strong contribution from everyone. I think pretty much to a man, I think everyone played their role today really well.
Will be goal kicking practice all next week?
Yeah, well, we do that every week. It's not, we don't then just all of a sudden, tweak something as a result of. But so the forward group do a bunch of routine process pieces with their goal kicking. But yeah, we felt that there were times we could have sort of stretched and put a bit more scoreboard pressure on the Gold Coast. So, but yeah, there'll be a bit of attention to that this week.
The crowd gave you a lot of love on the way up.
Crowd were great, to have nearly 7,000. And we've said publicly before, we love coming down here. We've been able to move some of the local kids down here into our VFL team this year. I think we've had 8 guys that have come over and played in our VFL team, so that's been an investment from the footy club. We haven't been able to get down here in the last 18 months. I think we've been unfairly criticised about that, but, if you actually look what's happened with the pandemic, we actually haven't been allowed. This is the first week that we've been able to come down here and not wear masks and not be locked into a room for a set period of time. Now, how people expect us to come down and do extra days and, help within the community is beyond me. We absolutely want to, and actually planned that through pre-season. But the support of the group that came out today was just phenomenal, and we really thank them, and we can't wait to get our Melbourne fans back to Marvel next week.
You had a lot of good contributors today. Jai Simpkin, really good in the middle.
Yep.
Cameron Zerha, mid-20s for possessions and a couple of goals. Who's going? Goldstein, really good again in the ruck. Whose game did you like best?
Look, it's hard to gauge when you're up in the box. There's things that are tending to sort of flow on. You look at the flow of the game. You probably don't tend to take note too closely. I would say all of those. I think Todd's game was really good. I like, Luke Davies-Uniacke I thought was good. I mean, there's different quarters and different phases of the game. I love some of Jack Marnie's little front and square work. I love the way that Luke McDonald's learning to play the wing. Trent Dumont, the way that he's sort of moving. I thought Ben Mackay had a great game down back. Josh Walker's playing really well. So again, they're all learning about the time and the moments that they need to contribute as part of the team.
What sort of impetus does this win give you now, leading into a massive game next week against the Bulldogs?
Yeah, how much impetus? I'm not sure. I think what our guys are understanding is what our brand looks like, what we want to do with the game, how we can manage the game at different times to control the ball, our capacity to have shots on goal, get it inside 50. I think when we get that corridor movement right, we look pretty sharp, we look pretty good. We're learning other avenues. So look, we step away from here really buoyed with our last 2 or 3 weeks, but you've got a massive challenge next week with the top side again.